Hi everybody. In this video, I invited Mircea Serediuc from Solo, the platform for solopreneurs, to talk about email marketing for products in the customer journey. Meaning, after somebody enrolled in your platform, you should send some emails beside the welcome email and the reset password email. What kind of emails we should send to them from time to time that will create a better communication and a more loyal user. Hi, Mircea. Thank you for joining.
Hi, Theodore. Thank you for inviting me.
Please,
Um,
what's your take on these emails after the welcome email? Because this is standard, let's say.
yeah,
How
but
do you see it?
even it's standard. It's the problem with it. It's that it's treated like standard. So that's
Yeah,
the problem with it. Most of the
people
people
get
don't open it
blinded.
because they think it's like, yeah, it's something that all the people do. So you're not opening it, even though some welcome emails are outstanding. And the welcome email, from my point of view, like it's the first contact that the person has with your product. And I believe that needs to have the personal touch and feel that it's for them. And it has to remind them why they bought the product for the benefits, not for the features. Because sometimes
Yeah,
in the welcome email, you elicit the features that the product has. And that's one of the challenges that I see in most of the products. People sell features, they don't sell benefits. And in order to understand benefits, you need to talk with the customers. So in order to talk with the customers, you need to take your pants out and understand why they are there and to ask them, because it's easier to talk about yourself and what you did, and it's hard about to talk to other people and you don't know them. So probably that's the point we start from. And one of the things that I understood very late in my career, not early I was selling features and telling people about the features and how extraordinary the features are. And from time to time, the market taught me, because I failed, because I wasn't right, because people weren't buying the products that I was working on. Like, I don't buy your features, I buy the benefits that they are
of
bringing
course.
to. So there are these two people who you create emails for. You create for specialists, the specialists buy features. Like, you know that you're buying a phone for the processor, the camera, the RAM, the storage, like these. That's a professional who is buying a phone and you
Yeah,
can sell him features.
the
But
advanced user.
most of the people, they want a phone to make good photos.
Or call the grandma.
Yeah, and respond on WhatsApp and
Yeah, yeah.
comment on Facebook groups.
Yes.
So those are the benefits they are
That's it,
expecting.
basic.
Yeah. So it's not about the features, it's the benefits that they want. So you have to prone in every email the benefits that they will get. Like, that's why it's called the sequence of emails after onboarding, because you have to explain to the user each benefit that he is getting for the money that he paid. Because all the people,
Yeah,
like, I'm buying a product. By creating a calculation in my head, what's the value that I get for the money that I pay? And this rapport has to be good.
yeah,
That's why, like, if I can compare Messenger OS with MailChimp brings too many features for
yeah,
the value that I need, and I pay extra for some features that I'm not using.
yeah,
Instead, Messenger OS gives me what I need for the small amount of money just to use it.
yeah.
So
The basic.
you can find this comparison in many situations. Like, I don't know, if I take the phone example, Oppo versus iPhone. With Oppo, you can do photos, comments on Facebook, WhatsApp, everything. Like, you have that. It's not great, but it's not terrible. Value for money, perfect.
Yeah, yeah. It works.
So that's the thing that you need to prone them in the sequence of the emails that you send them. Like, try to create the idea of, oh, you need this benefit, or you need this benefit, or you need this benefit. That's why you create use cases, because most of the people, like, you in our days you buy cucumbers to make a salad, and in our days if you buy cucumber you can make cocktails, you can create face masks for women or men, I don't know. But you bought the cucumber. Same with SaaS. Most of the people build the SaaS, tell the features, and expect people to know how to use them. Some people are experts and they know how to use it, but most of the people don't. Most of the people need to find the final benefit. Sell, create retention. Give me some examples. What are the benefits of email marketing? Because these two are in my head.
Sales, segmentation.
Yeah, but segmentation, it's same with sales. You create more personalized sales.
Yes.
You create more personalized information because you figure out how to give them the message and prompt them with the problems they have, and your product is the benefit generator for their problem.
Yes, but
and it's
usually
more specific and it's relatable.
Yes, but if you are selling dresses, usually you don't want to send this email to men, usually. So you can segment
for sure.
Very easy, men and women. But
I believe that.
Yeah, please.
That's a point where you start to create conversion based on attributes. But people in the beginning, when they are starting, like my experience is in early stage startups. And most of the people in the beginning, they don't think that they need to segment because all the people are their clients.
Yes.
So
and they don't have so many
market
people.
Yes.
They don't even have so many people.
Yeah. So you sell use cases.
Yeah. But I wonder if sending those onboarding or after onboarding emails probably should be triggered by some actions in the product, in the platform, because maybe
you can do that.
If you go in some section of the platform, you can trigger an email explaining this is how it works or these are the benefits. No.
Yeah, but if you trigger an email in that point, in that part of the application, after the user entered it and didn't finish an action, like, I don't know, create invoice. Because I can give you the example with invoice because I'm working every day with invoices.
Yes.
So you create an invoice and you didn't finish the invoice, and you send him an email, hey, you didn't finish the invoice. And that's one of the problems that we have with our users. If your first time invoice as a solopreneur, you're afraid of not doing it right.
Yes.
So most of the time, if you're afraid of not doing it right, you postpone it and you ask a lot of people. We get a lot of questions from customer support. How I create the first email, the first invoice.
Yes.
So these people, one of the things that we can do is to send them an email like explaining this is how you do the first invoice with the additional right. How you do the first invoice right in the email. Plus, one of the tips and tricks, and I figure out in email marketing, is to use a lot of emojis, not overuse it. I don't know how much.
At least one. I would use one emoji.
Yeah, and because like I tried to figure out what's the reason behind it, and I figured out two reasons. First of all, it's playful and it stands out in the email list because it's a full list of emails with text, and each one has an email.
Everybody has emojis now.
No, the trend
At least in e-commerce, everybody has.
Okay, I will look. Emag, it's spamming us a lot with emojis.
Okay.
But I was thinking like if they have the. But one of the things that I figured out is the fact that people started to create a person a name for the bot that it's sending the email.
Yes.
Like we have
like
Anna.
John from Anna or John or
Yeah.
I don't know how much.
So
it
that's
helps,
the first thing. Yeah, it kind of helps. The funny thing is that our colleague Anna, it's recognized on the streets. So
she added her picture or why it's
no, but they tracked her down on LinkedIn because we have only one Anna in Solo.
And
so
she has a picture.
Yeah.
Poor Anna.
That was one of the things. The second thing is emojis, and One of the good things about emojis is that you need to do some mental cognitive load to translate the image to the word that it's used. So it makes you think. So because you put some effort in understanding what's in that email, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. So you will have you will try to take the try to read it because it makes you curious, because you invested time to figure out what's there.
Okay.
So with these two things in mind, that's the first thing that I see as a tips and tricks how to open these emails. Second of all, to try to prone them from the beginning with the idea of what you're gonna do, what's the benefit, what you're enabled to do with that feature, with that email. Like now you can invoice right. And one of the things that I figured out, there are two kind of persons who are doing marketing. The artist, who is trying to use fluff words that most of the time is vague and is not specific. On the other spectrum, it's the one that it's like creating stupid proof words, like straight to the corner, but at the same time, it's very vague because he wants to get a big group of people.
Yeah.
Like it's not specific. It's something like, yeah, now you can invoice everyone. So you need to figure out how you put yourself in the middle to be specific. Like now you can invoice people from Romania. Now you can invoice people like specific for the use case of the person who wants to do it. So that's one of the things like that. I'm getting this information from the value proposition frameworks, because it's this, like, you heard about jobs to be done.
Yes.
Framework that, yeah, jobs to be done says that every person doesn't buy a product, they hire it to help them make progress in a context they are struggling in.
Yeah.
So if you take this in consideration, you buy the product for the big hire, like I hire you for email marketing, but at a certain degree you have small hires, small points of friction that you're gonna help the person to overcome the struggling moment. So if you take that in consideration, the emails are helping them make progress. So you need to ask yourself, what's the progress that the person needs at this moment? So if you look him in the application, as you said, you look into the app, you figure out that the person blocked at a certain point, so he needs help to make progress. I figure out that he needs to make progress. I create an email that is helping him make progress in that point of the application.
Yeah. Probably I will define some key points where people are struggling or are not, let's say, understanding very well what each button is doing.
That's a problem of product. You'll not fix it with an email.
Okay. Okay, then how can I figure out what points should I send those emails?
If you try to patch it, if you try to patch a product with emails, you're not solving the product.
Right. But then how do you know on which point you should send a helpful email? And after how much time would you send it? If I enter now and do some stuff, leave an invoice not finished, in how much time would you send that email saying you forgot to, I forget to finish that invoice, to, I don't know, publish it or something? How much time
mostly
would you
this
offer?
happens in e-commerce. If you forget the products in the basket,
something in the cart,
you forget them.
Yes. It's similar.
You're not
that.
poor, you just forget them.
Yeah.
Or you're waiting for a coupon.
Yeah, I know somebody who said he's doing intended. Just put them there and wait to receive the coupon.
Yeah, I saw that. And the other thing is like this. So one of the things that I figured it out in the products is when you have actions that need more steps. Like try to think like this. I have a flow that has 7 steps and it needs my full attention.
Yeah.
And I didn't try to think onboardings for weight loss apps.
Okay.
You need to go on a weight to weight yourself and figure out what's your weight, and then to go and put it into that application. Like these are things that you need to figure out at a certain point. So I'm thinking out loud about this. So basically, these are places where you can create these emails to help them make progress, because they started the process, they stopped in the middle. You need to remind them to finish the process. Other than that, you have to save the state for the process, not to start it again from the beginning. Like these are product features that you need to complement with email.
And also
you didn't finish your onboarding.
Yes, you want the user not to abandon your product. Maybe in this time the user says, it's too heavy, too much work, or something like that, no?
Yeah, but you prone him with the part where you figure out what is his motivation, because one of the things that you're doing with those emails, you help him figure out how he will gonna look after he finished the onboarding, after he finished that form. Like, most of the time you need to figure it out. I'm going back to the beginning of this discussion. You need to figure out the value and sell him the value that he's searching for. So if you look into this situation, you need to go back, figure out the value, go back in the app, prone the user in the app, prone him in the emails. You need to have more points of communication for him to understand some things. Like, one of the things that I did as an analysis in Solo is to figure out how many places I explained him what he has to do in a flow. And I explained him now about e-factura. So I explained him in the app, in onboarding, in the app in specific moment, because most of the people, when they need information, they need information when they struggle. If I give you now some information and you're not struggling, you forget it. So that's another point you need to understand. You need to understand when is his struggle to help him make progress. So you serve him the information right at that point. So in-app, it's the more logical place to give him the information, but you can follow up in the email. Like, hey, I saw that you didn't finish that, or I saw that you tried to create an invoice and you're limited because you don't have electronic signing for for sending that invoice. Please make that and then come back. So these are points where you can figure out where to put it.
Yeah, correctly. It's correct. Do you think it would be helpful to send, beside all those emails, which are kind of transactional, because you kind of know where is the struggle and trigger an email, maybe send some other emails like that would give some value to the users, like informational emails or educative emails, which are not related to his actions, just as you say, for Solo, which is an accountant for accountants, it's a platform for right? For solopreneurs, right?
Yes,
to manage
it's an accounting platform for solopreneurs. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Maybe they should know what something means in accounting, a term or something.
You do that. You do that when there are changes in the legislation.
Okay.
Like when there are new changes in the legislation, like some days ago, the minimum wage in Romania changed, and we had to inform
changed
them. Yes, but these don't see them as transactional. They need to know this information to do their work. So it's like mandatory. It's not something, a newsletter that we need to inform them. But you can go in another direction and you can figure out a value that they are searching for, and it's not quite documented. Like, I was thinking, people need to add expenses to pay lower taxes.
Yes.
So to create an email that it's telling you, hey, these people who have the same activity as you are adding in their balance sheet these kind of expenses, it's useful for them as an educational point. Most of the time, the educational part is created in pre-conversion. Most of the time,
of course.
like people are looking when I want to understand the product, I'm looking to figure out the value.
Yes, you figure out the value, but you don't use the product at 100%. And then with this kind of emails,
it's not about using it 100% because you don't even know how to use it 100%.
Yeah.
Like that's why I was telling you use cases.
Yeah.
But use cases that are specifically for their life. We go back to segmentation.
Yes.
And you need to figure out data points for that person, and you need to prompt them in a certain direction. Like you need to do that. Like you can add car parts that are replaced at your car as an expense on your self-employed form. So that's an email because other people who are doing Uber, Bolt are doing the same thing. So you create something specifically for their reality. The downside of it is that some people will see it as something that you send, how would say, more of a newsletter.
Yes, like a newsletter.
Some information. Like I saw that I bought a YouTube course from Shelly, one of the Romania's biggest YouTube celebrities, and he taught me one thing that it struck me to today, and I was like really skeptical if I will learn something from that guy. But I wanted to learn from him because he was doing money from YouTube. I wasn't, so he had something valuable to share to me. And he said, clickbait, it's clickbait when you don't deliver on the promise. But if you put a clickbait name and you deliver on that promise and you enforce the delivery, people will not have anything to complain about your clickbait email.
That's not if you offer a clickbait anymore. If you are delivering what you promise.
Yeah, but most of the people are not ready to put in their email cheesy titles.
Okay.
80% discount.
Yeah.
And say, it's a clickbait. If you promise me that I will get 80% discount on that product, I will open it, I will buy it, and I will recommend it to other people. Because you delivered on the value that you promised in that email.
Yeah. This is one of the main, let's say, recommendations. I mean, this is mandatory. Deliver what you promise. What you promise in the subject line should
probably
happen.
The people who are looking at this discussion, they are delivering on promise, but most of the people don't. Like, you need to polish your product and then make marketing, but most of the people just bring people into their product and then they figure out how to retain them.
Yes.
And you have value proposition that it's over promising and less delivering, but you get them and you try to use marketing tactics to keep them engaged and promise them, and that's the place.
Understand. One more thing, I'm curious. Let's talk a bit about SMS communications. Of course, SMS is it's more expensive than email. So when would you use SMS to communicate with the users of the product?
When the relationship with the customer, it's in big danger. Like, try to imagine that at a certain point, people need to get into the application to report their taxes. I send them an email, I send them a second email, third email, the fourth is an SMS. Because I need to be straight directly into their hands. SMS, I started to see a new trend that it's WhatsApp, and people start to create discussions in WhatsApp with these people. And one of the things that I figured out is that it's not that personal as SMS, but it's near to their phone and their life, because most of the people live on their phone, me also. So it's near to that point. Email, you just drop in a sea full of emails and you just go after it. So these are the points to say like this about email, about SMS. try to imagine that your the relationship with that, like, not the relationship, but the value that you bring to that person, it's threatened by something outside, and he needs to figure it out. Subscriptions, do things in the application for them not to lose money, lose resources.
Yeah, should be something high value.
Yeah, really
That
high
would.
value. SOS and SMS. It's like the
Yeah,
last resort. Like
yeah,
no, the
yeah,
last
yeah,
resort is calling them by phone and telling them
yeah.
get in the app. But it's near there.
Mhm.
Plus, I see a new trend. I saw an UX thing that was very, very nice for a platform that was a mobile app. And what they did, if you landed on their website on web, you create the account, and when you put the phone number, they send you an SMS on your phone with the links to download the app. So
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
very nice way of delivering the link for the mobile app
yeah. It's
instead
on
of a
the
QR
phone.
code or something like that.
Yeah,
Yes.
correct. It's on the phone, and you directly. I mean, it's less work. You don't have to copy paste or something. Yeah, it's a good
Yes.
idea.
So that was one of the use cases that I copied for one of my clients. So that was one of the things that I recommended to him to use it. Other than that, I didn't saw so many use cases in product with SMS besides the typical ones, two-factor authentication.
Yeah, yeah.
But
You
that's
can do two-factor also
standard.
with email. Depends on the budget. I mean, you can.
Yes.
If you are a
If you're
bank,
Amazon, you do.
usually you're doing SMS. If you are Amazon, probably I don't know, maybe on email because you have to send millions of SMSs.
Or
Yeah,
on a certain point in the beginning of Google Calendar, they had that option to send you an SMS
yeah,
with 15 minutes before starting the
yeah.
event. So
I
that was
think it was
quite
too
cool.
expensive.
It became
Uh,
expensive. In the beginning, it
yeah,
was a very nice feature.
yeah. I remember. Yeah.
So that's one of
Well,
the points
mhm,
where people need to figure out, like, I'm trying to, what I tried to create a picture for the people who are listening is the fact that you need to figure out how to use email marketing, not as email marketing, as communication. You need to figure out how to communicate with people. Like, it's not
yeah,
about over engineering, it's try to understand how I will have a relationship with you, Theodore, and instead of having synchronous discussions, to create asynchronous discussions. If I found something very nice from about my application, a use case that I didn't knew it can happen from another
hmm,
user, I will come to your door, I knock to your door and say, Theodore, this use case can be done, you need it because it's valuable for you. But try to imagine it not as creating a relationship through email, but it's communication to another person. And
yeah,
from that on, you personalize the email, you figure out when are the right moments to send it. Don't send it in the middle of the night, don't send it morning when probably he's at coffee.
yeah,
If you send it morning in the coffee, it's good for education. At the after lunch, it's good for actions. In the 6 p.m., it's good for conversion. I don't know, this kind of, try to imagine the life of the user. And one of the things that you can do when you start to make user interviews is to understand his life, understand how he buys. When is the moment when you scroll more into the application?
yeah,
In the afternoon. Okay, so pre-afternoon, I will send you an email at 5:30 because I know that 6 you're entering into the application. And
yeah,
to
yeah,
route the info to route the user directly to the application, they can enter from the email. So you create this kind of, yeah, at 8:30 you figure out that you want to look something at 9 with a ball of popcorn. So at 8 I have you send you an email with the new movies that are added.
yes, of
So
course.
it's all about the understanding the person's behavior. That's why I'm so passionate about jobs to be done, because
Hmm,
jobs to be
hmm.
done, it's pretty much put you in front of a paper with the jobs to be done artifacts to ask yourself questions about the user and then create assumptions and then validate it with him. So the email is not the email. It's just a product that helps you deliver value.
Yes, correct.
So don't think it like, I want for the people not to think of, I have to do email marketing because everyone is doing email marketing. Yeah, probably the users that you're targeting, they are not on email. So, or they are not using, like, if you go to Gen Z and you send them emails, probably it will not have the same effect as boomers.
Yeah, I understand. Thank you very much for your input. If you want to add something else to this topic.
Yeah, I was thinking about the fact that we need to figure out where is the place in the whole product, because the product, it's related with what's in the product, what's in the platform, what's the communication that you have around the platform, what's the customer support that you're offering for the product, what's the social media and so on. Like, most of the people see it as, I create a product, a SaaS, and it's just the platform, but it's the full ecosystem around the platform. So it's bigger. It has many other things that you need to take in consideration, and most of the time you don't, because you're building features and you have to deliver value, not build features.
Yeah, great.
As we started the discussion. So thank you very much for the opportunity to talk so much.
Thank you.
And I didn't know that I can talk so much about email marketing.
Thank you very much for joining. It was very interesting. I will try to apply some of your insights also for Messenger S, and maybe we will see you soon again in the chat. Thank you.
Okay.
Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. Take care, Theodore.
Take care. Bye-bye.